I'm so old that the way I learned about latte art was through a newspaper article.
The first question is a hot topic.
For every one successful thing, there's probably like 10 things that just melt your tongue off.
Hey everyone, it's Jill and Ben here, and we are going to do Ben's pre-comp Ask Me Anything. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, the first question is a hot topic, and the people really want to know, how much can you bench press?
Oh, so I have a year goal. I need to get it this year to do 2 plates, to be 225. The max I've benched is 215. You don't even know if that's good or not.
No. Good job. So how did you first get introduced to coffee?
Yeah, so I worked at Second Cup. That's my secret. I don't know. A secret. And I really didn't love the taste of coffee, but I had heard about latte art, and I decided that I would teach myself latte art. I'm so old that the way I learned about latte art was through a newspaper article. It wasn't even on YouTube or anything like that. And so I read a newspaper article and like they had the pitcher that doesn't even have a spout. It's like the bell pitcher, and managed to get some squiggles in a cup, and I was hooked after that.
All right, so you got into coffee, not really liking the taste of coffee. That sort of ties into this next question. Oh, no. What do you consume more of in a day? Whole coffee beans or brewed coffee?
It's going to be whole coffee beans. Something that I think a lot of roasters do, maybe I'm wrong, is they'll eat coffee beans to see like how the roast went, like if it was overdeveloped, if it's baggy. And so even if I'm not thinking about it, I'll like be munching on a couple coffee beans. I have actually coffee grounds in my teeth right now, and I don't drink much coffee. I eat a lot though, so it counts.
Is that how you dial your coffee for comp?
It's how I dial the roasts a little bit, but then yeah, save all the drinking for on stage, right?
Where do you find your inspiration for your WBC sets?
I'm kind of always thinking about coffee and comp and seeing what else is out there. And then sometimes something will just pop into my head and I'll try it. I think what a lot of people don't get to see is all the failed things I've tried. For every one successful thing, there's probably like 10 things that just melt your tongue off, and not in a good way. There's a blend, but it's basically just always trying something.
Have you recently had any of those tongue melting experiences related to comp?
Yeah, we roasted this one batch. It's the coffee I won with, so it's a good coffee. We roasted this one batch of coffee that somehow was so sour that it basically I'm surprised it didn't melt the burrs when we ground it, but it even is sour if you cup it. Like it's like I learned how to make citric acid. We named that the roast lemon laser, and it's still on my desk, but we haven't used it. But I don't know how, I still don't know how. I need to look at the profile and see what we did, because we made something bad.
Will that batch be coming with you?
Yeah, secret weapon.
Do you have any morning or preset routines on a comp day?
I used to listen to like music beforehand, but I felt like that started to distract me. Not really. I probably eat candy before the set, make sure I have lots of energy, because it's good for me.
Have a nice palate for before you go onto stage.
Yeah.
And dial your espresso.
Exactly.
Next question. Is plant-based milk something that you've wanted to do for some time and finally are able to now that the rules have changed? Or did the rule change sort of spark the change in your milk course?
I think the rule change has been a wake-up call for a lot of people. I also think the timing is really nice. If you look at I think most competitors will use some form of oat milk if they compete, and if you look at the oat milks that are now available, they're really good. I think if you had implemented this rule like in 2017, not as many people would have jumped on it, just because I think the quality of plant-based milks were not to the same level. So it's partly the rule, but it's also just the timing, I think, is really good to make delicious drinks that have plant-based milks in them.
Okay, Ben, when you're not doing coffee-related things, what else do you enjoy to do?
I will start with the ones that make me sound cool first. I like to play music, and I like to exercise. I also really like playing video games. I'm not very good at them, but every time I win, I take a picture of the TV screen that says victory on it.
Would you say that you just ranked those in order of importance?
Maybe backwards order, but I don't know.
So if we open your camera roll on any given day, how many of those photos are going to be victory shots?
Maybe one.
Oh.
I'm not that good. I don't play that much. Like recently, every game I've played, except for one, I've won this week. I played 4 games. I've only lost once.
So something that people seem to always talk about when they talk about you is your dinosaur t-shirts. So there are 2 of them that you wear quite often, and People want to know, where is this secret place that you can get these dinosaur tees?
So there's 2 places to get your very own dinosaur t-shirt. One is the internet. I'm sure you've all heard of it, but they're really expensive there. They're like $50 or something like that. I was gonna buy one, but if you go to, for anyone watching internationally, there's this town in Alberta called Drumheller where they have lots of dinosaurs, and a dinosaur museum, and there's this one gas station that has the best lineup of dinosaur t-shirts that I know of, and they're like $30. Still not cheap, but not 50.
Definitely more expensive than I imagined coming from a gas station.
If we were on like The Price is Right, they would have.
Yeah. All right, there you have it, everyone. You got to go to Drumheller. What is the worst part about competition?
That's a good question. I think you commit to missing out on a lot of things. Even like it's not that nice out right now, but it's been like really hot the past couple of weeks, and the whole time I've just been inside practicing. So you miss out on some things, but there aren't that many bad parts of it. It can also be like really demotivating when you try something and it doesn't taste good, or trying to like make a bad coffee taste good. So there are some like dips and some lows, but overall I say there's not that much that's not fun.
What is your favorite drink?
In the world?
In the world.
If I don't say coffee, then that looks really bad, but...
We all know it's not coffee if you eat more coffee than you drink, so...
I actually really enjoy tea quite a bit. I really enjoy wine as well. Those would probably be... And coffee is also up there. So my view on coffee is like average coffee I'm not interested in, but my favorite drink ever is when coffee is amazing. It is actually the best. And I think that's part of why I compete so much is looking for that cup that satisfies that, but when it's like average, I'm less interested.
All right, so another hot topic question. This year on qualifying round and in nationals, you sported a new article of clothing, which was the fanny pack, belt bag, whatever you want to call it, but the people really want to know what was inside.
The belt bag or fanny pack idea, I'm actually pretty proud. I mean, someone might have already done it, but I'm pretty proud of it. So typically when you compete, you have your apron, it's all cinched up, and then you have to tuck a bunch of claws in there, and they're awkward to get at, and then you have to shove them back in your apron if you have to use them. It's always hard to remember which one you use for which. And so basically I jammed a bunch of claws into the belt bag, like a wet one, a dry one, and just as I needed them, use them. At nationals and finals, I forgot to put out my steam on cloth, so I just grabbed it and used it, and no one noticed. So it's kind of like a walking laundry hamper.
Filled with clean laundry.
Clean claws,
yes. Yeah. Is this something that will be appearing on the world stage?
Yes. The one I used at nationals was logoed. It was like an Ernex one.
Shout out Ernex.
Thank you, Ernex, for the fanny pack. I think on worlds, you probably don't want as many logos, so I have ordered a fanny pack. It was on sale. Who knew? Why was it on sale? So popular.
As we all know, this is not the first time that you have won nationals. This has actually been 6th time winning the Canadian National Barista Championship title. How does this 6th win compare to your very first? The first time I think is huge just because you finally made it, and then then when you go to worlds you get to see that like there's still so much to try and achieve and accomplish and learn. This one, they're actually all really special though, because I think I see how good other baristas are, and I know coffee's still getting better, and I've lost enough times that I know that it's really easy to lose. It hasn't lost its magic of winning because it's still like really special to me. And lastly, what is your topic for this year's competition, and what coffees will you be using?
I will answer half of that so that you have to watch. So you can't just hear the answer and then not even tune in. I'm using 2 coffees, both from the Lamassus family, one from Alburo, a natural geisha, and then another one from Alida, a washed geisha. And then you'll have to watch to find out what I'm talking about.
Thanks, Ben, for answering those questions for us, and thank you everybody for sending in those questions. This was really great. You'll have to tune in when Ben is competing. We'll definitely post the times when he's going to compete, and you can find out part 2 of that last question. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.